Hello. Welcome to crash, boom, smash, boom, bling, blang, boom. Oh, oh, bling, bling, bling. Hang on a sec. Yes, JD. Yeah, I'm doing a show about you today. Okay, hope you like it. Okay, bye. Okay. Once again, from a secret, undisclosed location, hidden somewhere deep in the bowels of downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, comes in the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, Wallace Ryan. And this is our 175th episode. Yay! Yay! Thanks a lot, Felix. So we're going to have sort of a bit of a special episode anyway, along with some tea. Along with some tea, I am going to be talking about the work of a good buddy of mine, J David Spurlock, and his fabulous little imprint called Vanguard Productions. So, I only had 2 books came in this week, so I figured, okay, this is the perfect time to do, because I did get his great book about Frank Frazetta there a couple of weeks ago, and I've just been waiting for a slow week to do this show. J. David he's born in Memphis, and he taught at the University of Texas at Arlington. I do believe he also taught at the Joe Cooper School, and he also taught at the School of Visual Arts in New York City, which I myself attended for a couple of night courses, and was a lot of fun. He's been nominated many times for Eisner Awards, and he's a stalwart of the comic book community. He's made comics like Sparkplug #1, and in 1993 he founded Vanguard Productions, mainly to publish a comic anthology, Tales from the Edge. But Vanguard quickly exploded into doing art books, biographies, graphic novels, all kinds of cool stuff. And so I figured, okay, it's about time we gave J. David his due. So I've, besides the Frazetta book, I picked out a couple of other examples of some of my favorite work of his. This is just a small sampling now. I actually do have more of his books, but where the library is overflowing here, I've had to pack up some and move them out into the hallway as I prepare to take over another room at some point in my house here. So, but these are actually some of my favorites anyway. So I figured I'd show them to you. But we will actually start with the big one itself, which is the Fantastic Paintings of Frank Frazetta. And it's funny because when we first started talking about this, I mentioned to him how I'd been a Frazetta fan all my life myself, and how it all started with a book that I had when I was a kid, and I mentioned it to him, and he said, "Oh my God, that's the same book that more or less inspired this one." And I think there's even a picture in here of it. I can't remember who published it. Here it is there. That book there. I don't even know if it... Ballantyne, I think it was. But yeah. 1975. Whoa, oh my God. That was a while ago, wasn't it? But anyway, yeah. And I had that one, and I had the next one too, and I was just a Frazetta maniac. I loved his stuff. It's moody, beautifully painted. And then I discovered he also had some comic artwork. I think I do have I have Thundra somewhere, and a few other books of his work, including some I'll show you from Vanguard itself. But yeah, always, and actually, I do believe, yeah, he did some for, what was it, Area Creepy #1, Creepy #1, I think it was. But anyway, absolutely, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous work. And, hang on a sec. Then when I found out he was going to do a nice big book of Frazetta work, it's just like, oh, I got to have this. So I eventually did get it picked up. I love the cover to it too. It's very, very fancy, very nicely done, and oh, nice back to it with a few samples of his work. A picture of Frank himself. Nice little spine there, and it's. I mean, he goes into quite a bit of detail and stuff like that about it, and talks a lot about it. But for me too, especially for anyone out there who has never experienced Frazetta, this is a very good starting point, because there's some great examples of some of his work, and it shows it too. Shows some of the work too, sort of in the situation of where it was used too. So, but rather than going on and on and on talking about it, I'm going to show you some of it. Okay. Not too much, because I want you to run out and buy yourself one of these. Okay. Check that out there. Look. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'll show you the... There's oh, I always love that drawing of his. And then there's some of his comic book work there. And there's that book that I wish I still had to this day, you know. Oh, and a cool little stand-up holding the other one. Some more comic book work of his. And then, of course, some great black and white illustration. He did some beautiful line work. That's one thing I really loved about his black and white work. Is beautiful, absolutely beautiful line work. And this is one of my all-time favorite comic book covers here that he did. That was pretty cool too. But this one is a classic. And now, Gallery of Paintings. So, just beautiful. His paintings are just, they're very, I know, very monumental. And I like this sort of vagueness of some of it too, where it just fades off into the distance. This was always one of my favorites. I love this one. And this one too, of course. Well, all of them, shall we say. There's a few that are still stuck in my head to this day. Oh, zip ahead. Oh, I always love this one. Na, 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 na. You can feel the mammoth coming towards you. It's another beautiful Frazetta. Oh, this is a classic. Let's zip ahead. I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, this one from Erie and from Nazareth. Very cool. That's a nice one there. Oh, and of course, Death Dealer. I have a lunch tin with this on it. One of my favorite. I always love the glowing red eyes. Now that is menace itself. And this one here, I had to zip ahead to this one. This one, it screams sensuality and ancientness. It's like something from the turn of the century. And this one I always love, because I did have the issue of Erie that it was on the cover of. But this one I always loved. And of course, no one could do Conan like he could. No, I'm not going to go through the entire book, because I want to leave you folks something to oh, and Blazing Combat, the classic. I want to leave you something for you folks to peruse it for, and it is absolutely wonderful, wonderful book. Good work there, J David. I know what the J stands for, but I'll leave you folks to find that out on your own. I like to call him JDS, or JD for short. Okay, and let's have a look at some other wonderful books from, I think this one is this? Yes. This is actually one of my favorite little ones. It's a little tiny book. It's the Wally Wood Christmas book. This one is so cool. It has it's like a little beautiful little Christmas story here. Love the format too. Very small, very personable. Beautifully, beautifully done. I'm glad that he did this. It's like some of the things in the world of comics get lost along the way, and its publishers like Vanguard and Yo Books, Library of American Comics, and others who are helping preserve the history of the art form, and they have to be commended and congratulated on their great work. So, and that's one of the pieces. Now here, what will I look at first? There's just so much here. Okay, I guess I'll look at the Wally Wood stuff first. Okay, I have two of the books that I got here. One is Wally Wood Eerie Tales of Crime and Horror, the complete non-EC 1950s crime and horror comics of Wally Wood. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Now, some of these I do have in other editions. I'm sure I probably have some in, I think I have some of them in some PSR books. I'm sure some of these are them. But I love these. They're the very nicely done, the great reproduction. Comics are very clear and clean, and just beautifully done. Classic Wally Wood. Now this one has some stuff that's obviously early Wally, and then as gets more into his more sort of when his style became his style. So let's have a look. And Wally Wood, he was always one of my favorite artists, mainly because we share the same name. The only thing is, don't ever call me Wally. Wally was my dad. I'm Wallace. Pretty cool, isn't it? Some of the earlier stuff, you can sort of see hintings of the Wally Wood to be. And here's where it really starts to, you really start to see the Wally Wood we all know and love. Absolutely beautiful work. Wally was the bee's knees. And some great covers, of course. Airy, Prison Break, The Mask of Dr. Fu Manchu, Crime Smasher. Love some of the titles of these books. Wallace Wood Estate, which I do believe. Oh, and I do have that woodwork one, although it's behind a stack of stuff there. Actually, I have the Canon Book 2 and some other stuff. Anyway, there's that one. Then next, while I'm standing here, let me pull up the Wally Wood Strange Worlds of Science Fiction. This is another beautiful piece of work. Like I say, the reproduction, I gotta say, is top notch. It's one thing with the Vanguard; they really do a good job at reproducing the artwork. Lovely, isn't it? Rocketeers. The Executioner. So yeah, another and some Sky Masters there. Himself and Kirby did. But yeah, definitely one worth getting. Beautiful, beautiful piece of work there. Okay. Oh. Now, whew, came back to get a cup of tea before I bring forth some of his other stuff. Actually, I should see if I got that Canon book. Hang on a second, folks. Just a trip over to the other side of the library here. I think it's a... oh no, that's a Fantagraphics book. So we won't talk about that. Okay. Okay. Now. Oh. Whew. Another sip of tea. So some great work there so far. Now we'll get back to Frank Frazetta again. These are just two of the books. There's also the Essential Frazetta, I think, is another one that he did. But these, I picked these two out just because they're in particular two of my faves. Most especially this one, the Johnny Comet by Frank Frazetta. Vanguard Classics. Well, of course it's a Vanguard Classic. This is a, let's see here, it said, leads us through Comet's high-speed adventures, aided by writer Earl Baldwin and Indy 500 winner Peter DiPaolo. And it was, it was a comic strip, but it, and this is I do believe this is the complete of the complete Johnny Comet, or at least this launches a multi-volume collection of, okay, with the complete Johnny Comet. Okay. Well, anyways, this one has been reproduced using the artist's own proofs and meticulously restored full-color Sunday sections. Now, like I say, the black and white artwork in this is just absolutely stunning because of the it's just a marvelous job at reproduction, and the line work, of course, it's fabulous Frazetta line work, and this volume really does bring out the beauty in that line work. And it's funny, when I read some of Frazetta's older work, I can see how he influenced, well, I mean, artists like myself, definitely artists like, I think, Bernie Wrightson for sure, Jeff Jones, and in particular Mike Kaluta, because when I see, who are all favorites of mine, but Mike Kaluta especially, I've always loved Mike Kaluta's work. But in this volume in particular, I can see real echoes of Mike Kaluta in it for sure. So check this out. This one's so worth picking up. Now it's in this format here, but I mean, look at the line art in it is just absolutely fabulous. I mean, there's that page, that picture there. I mean, there, it looks so Kaluta-like. And why shouldn't they be influenced by a master illustrator and artist like Frazetta? Absolutely stunning, beautiful brushwork. I mean, this guy knew how to handle a brush. And action, cars. He does some good cars too, actually. Love his people. I mean, look at the wrinkles on this dude here. But yeah, and I mean, his men were beastly, and and grotesque in some ways, and his women were sensuously drawn. Absolutely incredible. Beautiful, hey? Look at that. I mean, look. Simmering power in some of these figures. Oh, look at that. Look at this dude there. Actually, I can see a bit of Eddie Campbell in him there. Ooh, and here's the color ones. Look at that. Dig that, man. Groovy, as we used to say. Well, as my older brothers and people who were hippies used to say. Super groovy, as I like to say. I'm reclaiming it for this generation. This is super groovy. And or mega groovy. So yeah, check it out. Frank Frazetta's Johnny Comet. So worth having. So worth having. And, we're going to end off this beautiful tribute to J David Spurlock and the fine folks at Vanguard Productions with another Frank Frazetta masterpiece, White Indian. Dun, 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 dun. This book collects the complete Frank Frazetta 16-issue run of White Indian from the back pages of Durango Kid Comics. And this one too, this absolutely beautifully done. The reproduction in it is amazing. You can see the lineup, the action's still all over the place there. Absolutely wonderful. So yeah, let's have a quick look at it here. There we go. Look at that. Even if you're not into Western comics, it's still kind of cool. Beautifully drawn. And that Frazetta. Incredible. And his animals. He always did great animals too. Oh, look at this beast here. But yeah, ooh, love this cover here too. Straight Arrow Comics. But yeah, Tim Holt. So yeah, ooh, and a Ghost Rider from that Western. It's before Marvel got their paws on them. But yeah, absolutely wonderful. So yeah, definitely another great one to pick up. So folks, once again, it's been a fun little show with you fine people out there. Once again, I'd like to thank all my viewers. It's been a long haul to 175 episodes, but I've loved every moment of it. As a matter of fact, you can see how I've dressed up for this episode with my Archie pin. So I'd like to thank all of you out there for watching the show and for making comments. I loved chatting with people on the comments page. I treat the comments on the videos almost like a letters page. And I try hard as hell to make sure I answer every single one. So that being said, please feel free to leave your comments. And thank you for making In the Library of Graphic Literature a lot of fun to make. One note too, outside of Vanguard related things, this week we lost another giant in the field of comics, Frank Thorne, whose comic actually Gita I was just reading the other night, and now he's gone. So rest in peace there, Frank, and we all loved you. You were an amazing artist. Anyway, thanks again to J David for inspiring me to do the show, and for turning out such great books. Keep up the good work, man. And for those of you out there who've never bought a Vanguard book, what's the matter with you? Get out there and get some. Like Kirby says, don't ask, just buy it. Okay, that being said, it's time for me to summon a boom tube and boom tube my way out of here. Okay, I love you all to pieces, and thanks for having me over. Oh my God, it's come to life. What? Oh, you gonna boom tube me out of here? Oh no! Oh my God, look at the size of that. Okay. Love y'all.